Once upon a time, there was an old woman who lived on a farm. Her husband was dead, and she lived alone. She had no children to help her. Every day, she said to herself, "I need children to make me smile and help me on the farm." One day, the Great Spirit came down from the mountain. "Take this sweet potato," said the Great Spirit to the old woman. "Cut it into 5 pieces. Put the pieces in the ground and give them water every day." And then suddenly, the Great Spirit was gone. The old woman was surprised, but she did as the Great Spirit said. She cut the sweet potato into 5 pieces, and she put them in the ground. She watered them as the Great Spirit said. After a few days, small green plants began to grow. The plants grew more every day. After a few weeks, the old woman softly moved the dirt away from each plant's roots. Under each plant was one sweet potato. The old woman took the sweet potatoes inside and put them on her kitchen table. Then she went outside to work. While she was working in the fields, something happened to the 5 sweet potatoes. They changed into children. Each grew a head, arms, and legs. The sweet potato children jumped off the table. All day they worked hard. They cleaned the small house, washed the old woman's clothes, and made dinner for her. When she came back from the fields, she was so surprised. Her house was clean, and her dinner was ready. She saw the 5 sweet potatoes on the table. She did not see any arms or legs. The next day, the same thing happened. "How is this possible?" she asked herself. "Is someone in my house when I am in the fields?" She wanted to find the answer. So on the 3rd day, she started to go out to the fields, but she went behind the house and looked in the window. She watched the 5 sweet potatoes as they changed into 5 children. She was so happy. She opened the door and cried, "My dear children." But the children were afraid. They jumped up on the table and began to change into sweet potatoes. "No, no," she cried. "Stay and be my dear children." The sweet potatoes heard her cries. So the sweet potatoes became her children. The sweet potato children helped their mother in her house and on her farm every day. They sang and played and were very happy. 4 of the children worked hard, but one boy named Kite was not very smart. He did not move or think very quickly, but he was very friendly and always smiled. The old woman loved all of the children. But sometimes the old woman was tired after a long day in the field. When she was tired, she shouted at her children. One evening after a hard day, the old woman cooked dinner. She was carrying a big pot of hot soup to the table. Kite ran under her feet, and the old woman fell down. The pot broke, and all the food went all over the floor. "You stupid boy!" cried the old woman. You are no help to me. You just make problems. You are just a stupid sweet potato. When Kite heard his mother's words, his smile was gone. Soon his arms, legs, and head were also gone. He was just a sweet potato again. When the other children came into the house, they saw their brother Kite on the floor. Soon their smiles were also gone, and then their arms, legs, and heads. 5 small brown sweet potatoes lay on the old woman's floor. The old woman cried, "Why did I say that? I'm so sorry. You are not a sweet potato. You are my dear son Kite." But it was too late. The sweet potatoes did not move. So the old woman lived on the farm by herself. She dreamed of her 5 dear children, but they never returned.